solicited quite a few museums with the crystal heads that we have and some of the artifacts, and they say, lose my number.
Yeah, good.
They're not interested at
Isn't
all.
that wild?
Well, it's just because it's not part of the written history, that's the narrative
Wouldn't
of,
that be a good thing?
That's what I thought too, the
To
narrative
find- To find the real narrative instead of the one we thought we had?
well, because you find, when you keep digging, you're gonna find the medicine bottles where they kill the people.
Well, but that happens. It happens here. We don't do anything about the ones now.
Good point.
Why are we caring about the ones from then?
I have a good friend who is spending his whole life digging up bottles, and I'm telling him, I said, you know what these bottles are? This is medicine that they propagated with the indigenous people so they could take the land. And there's literally mounds of these
Really?
bottles.
Just
And they're
little
from
brown, black glass bottles?
yeah, blue, black, pink, all the different, and they're for the whole realm that they lived in. So they would almost pray to these heads, right?
Kind of like a skull.
Right. And then they would put their hands, whether they put their hands on it after it was created and it was installed. So it could have been part of a rock, could have been part of a full statue. He was definitely detached because that wasn't
So
cut.
flat, yeah.
And so that they're kind of like a computer for the planet. And so the elders continued to work with these stones, and that was the Stone Age. These are their computers. And this is also allows them to communicate with the dragon through this, and to communicate to the clouds, to summon clouds to bring rain, to bless crops. All right, this is a very magical head, and it was very important. And thus the nose is broken and the lips have been defaced. So they've taken his detail off, and they did kind of hurt one eye.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's,
That they hit it and then it broke. Down, or something, it would have looked like, it's like scratches.
Right.
At some point.
but that's the purpose of these heads. And so in here, I'm sure we can find more around the country. But the crystal heads and these energetic dolls were part of, the way we lived in former times. As a hominin, they had a high level of consciousness. Their voices weren't, they didn't have a great language like we do. It was more telepathy and
So
energy.
is this prior to, when you say hominin, I was thinking hominin,
Caveman.
is it prior to Homo sapien, like prior to those DNA changes? It's like,
Wow.
it's a little hand.
So it's old. But markings are bizarre. You have to change the imagery a little bit to make it,
To make it pop.
That.
to make it pop, right?
I never thought about that.
Once you change the way you're looking, what are you changing?
You change the angle,
Oh, okay.
you change, it's like looking at a cloud.
Let me move it this way.
Maybe you gotta look at it sideways to see what it's saying.
Just like a lot of these crystal skulls that we have carvings in them. This had some sort of carvings and story told on it as well. It's just
Missing.
washed away over time.
Right, and so the black is actually like a paint or a dye.
That's what I was gonna ask. If
It's probably,
If you put them out in the sun and take a picture, it looks gold.
it looks gold.
Oh.
Looks totally different inside.
Yeah, it's a whole different-
Now, do you have sandstone up there in Mason? You do have the sandstone.